Hello, everybody. I'm just out here today just doing my daily walk. Well, not my daily walk, my every other day walk. But I want to talk to you guys that in my 60s, how I went from almost tipping 200 pounds and releasing my weight of 60 pounds, guys. Super amazing. If you guys noticing, and I will show you all, that I was at my largest during this time. And that's me, during this time of being almost 200 pounds and did not even know it. Did not even know it. And what I ended up doing and what made me think that enough is enough is that I changed my mind in the reference to what is enough. I changed my way of thinking and how I looked at food, guys. I changed my mind in what I put in my body. I changed my mind mentally. That I came out with this journey, guys, and I started in the month of December of a healthy body and a healthy mind. And that's how I started. So, guys, let's go ahead on and get into it. This is how I looked, as I showed you guys previously, of tipping the scales of 200 pounds. Once I changed and respected food, because I used to eat a whole lot of food. I used to have big plates of food. I'm talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner types of food. And it was kind of like on almost a weekly basis that I was almost tipping the scale of 200 pounds. And when I changed my mind in the reference to how I looked at food, the weight was dropping off, guys. And when it was, like I said, when it was dropping off, is that I started incorporating healthier eatings. I went on a keto-friendly, low-carb diet. And I don't like to use the word diet. That's one of the things that I did change in the reference of my mind, a healthy body, healthy mind. Is that not looking at releasing my weight as a diet. Because I already knew that if I kept continuing looking at my release weight, dieting, that I was not going to succeed. I was not. So I looked at it in a way of releasing. And it's not so much of releasing the physical weight, but it's releasing the mental weight of negativity. And when I did that mentally in the reference to how I viewed food, I started releasing that weight physically also. Is that having a keto-friendly diet, introducing that in my diet, guys. No sugar or anything like that. Not unless it was like natural sugar. And I also changed my eating habit in the reference to, when I say eating habit, I'm talking about my time frame. I no longer snacked throughout the whole day and had big meals throughout the whole day also, guys. What I ended up doing, as you guys would know, is what's called intermediate fasting, is that I ended up starting my regimen of having a protein shake that I made myself. And I will put that in my comment of what my protein shakes consisted of that I super loved. I did that in the mornings. Then, like about 3 or 4 hours later, I had my lunch, which consisted of like a salad, but my own homemade dressing that I made that was low in carb. Then for dinner, I pretty much had protein, loads of protein. Protein, chicken or lamb, with a small amount of like fruit or vegetables or something. Because I always paid close attention to my carb intake. Now keep in mind now, not only did I pay attention to my carb intake, I also paid attention to my calories because you have to take into consideration is that when you change your eating habits, calories do play a part in it also, y'all. So it's not like you can eat a whole big plate of all protein, all meats throughout the day and think that it's going to be okay. No, I'm telling you, in my opinion, my body and what I thought is that, no, that's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me. And usually is that once I had my dinner, and it's like around between 5 or 6 o'clock. That's when I start my eating. Now, I also did a lot of intake of water. Water, and that's something that I do not like. I actually had an app that would tell me when to drink water. I started taking in more water. And my intermediate fasting came in from 7 o'clock until 7 o'clock p.m. until the very next day till like around 10 or 11 o'clock a.m., which is my intermediate fasting. I did not have anything to eat in between those times, no snacking. If I did drink, it was either water or coffee, during that time of my intermediate fasting. And when I started incorporating my eating habits and looking at my food intake differently, it made a world of difference. I became more energized. I became more enthusiastic in the reference to what I was going to have, more meal preparations. This is exciting. You heard that thing, that sometimes the way you prepare your food is so good that you get full off of just looking at your food. That was me. That was me, guys. So when I was preparing my food and getting energized off of the food that I was taking into my body because I decided to change my eating habits, is that after I started doing that, is that I introduced now a vibration plate. Is that now when I purchased the vibration plate, I had in mind that it's gonna be a workout session, which in return to me, it was more than a workout session. As you see me on my vibration plate, is that it helped release tension in your body. It also helped, I had chronic back pain. It also released like the fluids in your body. It kind of woke up my blood cells, guys. It was invigorating. It was, to me, I call it my own personal massager. And I'll go ahead on and, show you, post the links. It did come with elastic bands also that you can do as a workout. Now, at first, I didn't think that it was really doing any good, but in all essence, it was. It was a part of my routine of releasing my weight. And once I had done that, then I went ahead, because I saw my weight was dropping. It was dropping, y'all. And I was quite surprised and amazed that I introduced also my Faja and my waist trainer. Now, this is what I was doing naturally. I did not have any surgery, did not take any pills, did not take any shots or anything like that. And I'm not going against anyone that did those things, because I'm a firm believer. Only you know your body. Only you know your mind frame. Only you know what you can take. And with me being in my 60s and going through menopause, sometimes that we pack on the pounds. So I always thought that individuals that went with the Faja and the waist trainer, because the doctors did the surgery and tell me, hey, you need to wear this X amount of months and everything. I figure if I want to sculpt my body, I can do the same thing with a waist trainer as well as with my Faja. And I wore that Faja, and I continue to wear it now religiously in how I ended up sculpting my body. Also, what I noticed that during this time now, because I did not like have a workout regimen. My workout regimen was my vibration plate. And I'm going to go ahead and put that at the end of this link. So you guys got to stay tuned. You got to see the vibration plate. And then you're going to see the amount of weight that from what I started in the beginning to the end. So you guys got to watch it at the end. Also, if you like what I'm saying, please comment, subscribe, and share. Because this is my truth, guys. This is my journey. Is that even with my Faja and my waist trainer and me sculpting my body, I noticed that I was developing loose skin. And amazingly enough, especially with me tipping 200 pounds and losing a lot of pounds, but not quickly, is that I didn't have a lot of loose skin, but it could be told, it could be shown and everything like that. It was visible. So at this point in time, I went ahead and start doing workout sessions. I also went ahead and joined the gym. So you guys gonna be seeing me running, jogging, walking. I'm not a workout kind of gal. I'm not, y'all. I'm not. So I figured that if I was gonna purchase monthly gym membership, then I'm gonna use it. Did I tell you I'm frugal? I like to use everything that I do purchase. It's kind of like when when your mom says back in the day, you need to eat everything off your plate. That's how I am with my money, y'all. I'm gonna use it to the extent. And yeah, a lot of people ask me, how did you end up losing a lot of weight? And I say it's called, to me, releasing a lot of weight. And I say that it wasn't a hard task. But guys, it wasn't an easy task either. Because when I first started changing my eating habit, I would say for the first 3 days that my body was going through a kind of like a keto flu. That I was feeling drained, I was feeling tired, I was feeling hungry, but my body was craving sugar. My body was craving carbs. My body was craving things that it was used to. It was saying, Brina, what the heck are you doing, girl? What you doing? Until I had to tell my body this right here. And this is where the mind come in also, a healthy body, healthy mind. I'm not on a diet. I am not going to deprive my body for what it is craving. And what I did is that I went ahead on and satisfied that sweet taste that was aching in my body, that carb, but I minimized it. I weaned myself off. Instead of me having 4 and 5 cookies, I had a half a cookie. Instead of me having that rice, I had a half a cup of rice. And I did that for 3 days, that when my body was screaming for those foods that my body was so used to in the past, I satisfied it until at the end of the week, my body no longer craved it, y'all. It stopped doing it. And I was so amazed. And I'm like, this is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I always believe that, hey, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But I want to say this right here. Everybody's body is totally different. Everybody's DNA is made up differently. I have watched a lot of individuals that have went through their weight release or weight loss journey and said, you need to do this, you need to do that. I am giving you my truth. I'm giving you my journey, that this is what worked for me. I cannot say that it's going to be able to work for you all. So you got to know your body. You got to know what your body can and will not take, because it will go ahead on and make a liar out of you. Now, I'm at my journey now. Is doing the gym, doing my walking, going to be incorporating weights and everything of that nature. And I want you guys to come along and see the results. Because of some of the loose skins that I do have, I want to tone it up now. So guys, come with me on this journey. I need some cheering on. I need some clap hands. I need some support. I always say that sometimes don't ever wait on no one else to pat you on your back, that you could be able to pat your own self on the back. But I'm going to need that cheerleader. I'm going to need that person to come and cheer me on, because I'm not a workout gal, y'all. Guys, I'm not a workout gal. No, I'm not. But I do want to tone up my body. I do want to tone, and I want to continue eating, in my opinion, a healthy way of eating. A lot of people does calories count, but I do carbs and keto. My carbs and keto eating habit is less than maybe 20 to 25 grams a day. So if you're gonna go ahead and count, always look to see what you're eating. Always look at to see what the amount is. Add it up. Do your journal of everything that you put in your mouth. Do a journal on it, and put down, exactly how many carbs it was. Do it on a week-to-week basis. That might help out, because even though when I was releasing this weight, there's a favorite pair of pants to include a suit that I always loved. I've had it for about 20 years, almost. And I'm glad to say that I'm able to get into it. But I use that as my inspiration. I use that as saying, eventually I'm going to get into these pants. Guys, when you see the results of how I was tipping almost 200 pounds to where I'm at now, you will be amazed. You will be amazed. Guys, thank you guys so much for listening to me. Thank you guys so much for joining my channel. Thank you guys so much for y'all support. If you guys like this channel, if you guys love what I'm saying, drop a comment and tell me, what are you doing as for a healthy body and a healthy mind? Let me know how you guys are taking y'all journey. Let me know what journey and path that you all are following. I am excited to hear from you all and know, what are you all doing? God, it has been amazing talk to you all, and I hope to see you guys in another video. Have an